Welcome back to the channel. We are your Colorado real estate family, and there are a few videos that I love more than these ones. We are actually going to be comparing two cities for you today here in Colorado, Longmont and Frederick.
All right, let's go. If this is your first time watching, Pete and Chelsea Sweeney here would like to be as your boots on the ground experts covering Denver and all of its surrounding cities. So if you're planning on moving into this area, why don't you hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, little notification bell. That way you can be notified every single time that we put out a new video.
Yeah, and as much as we love doing these videos for you, we also love helping you with your real estate needs. So if you're looking for a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Colorado, we're going to put our phone number right here. You can call, text, however you prefer. We are answering those every single day. Okay, so the way that we're going to run this video today is we're going to give you 5 different things that we've compared from Longmont to Frederick. And the first one starting with location.
Yeah, location is the most obvious one, guys. And they are pretty similar in regards to how far they are north of Denver, but Frederick takes the cake where it is closer. Another thing to note on regards to the location of Frederick and Longmont is Frederick is actually on the east side of I-25. I-25 is our main vein that goes north and south, pretty much through the Denver metro area, where Longmont is on the west side.
Yeah, so if you're looking at drive times from Frederick to Denver, it's going to be about 38 minutes, where if you're looking for drive time from Longmont, it's going to be, what, about 45,
46 minutes. And like I said, I mean, guys, we could sit here and try and give you the numbers all day long, but there's so many factors that go into that. If there's traffic, if there's a wreck, all those different things. But if you have a free and clear road and you don't drive like a bat out of hell, that's kind of what you're looking at. If you're driving like a bat out of hell, you could probably make it down to Denver in like 30, 20 minutes, I'd say, something like that. So
yeah.
He said, what? I've been here for 10 minutes max. Do not start without me.
And I think the big thing too is we always look up the time differences for you guys in real time so that you can do comparables between the two, not actually the time, because it does differ with traffic. But okay, so let's talk about another big difference with location, and that is that Longmont being on the west side of I-25 is going to be closer to your mountains. And that's not necessarily a bad thing for Frederick, because Frederick is going to be closer to DIA. So that really just depends on what your lifestyle is. If you want to be close to the mountains, you want to go do, hiking all the time, like that might be something that you look for in Longmont. If you're traveling all the time, you travel for work or
for business.
Or even, this is another big one that I really thought was important to talk about with location, is accessibility to the highway.
Yeah.
I think this is another reason why not only is the proximity closer to the airport, but also accessibility from Frederick is a lot better than Longmont. We've talked about this a lot, where there's like a whole area off the highway that's undeveloped right now to Longmont. So it feels like it's kind of far off the highway.
Yeah, it seems like to get into the heart of Longmont, it takes forever. You get off the highway and you're like, all right, cool, I'm in Longmont. You're not.
You're not. However, if you're comparing location and distance from Frederick and Longmont to Fort Collins, what I think is really interesting is that it's actually the same time. It's about 50 minutes either way. So the thing about Longmont is you can go the back way, but there are stop and goes. It's not as fast of a speed limit or whatever. And then Frederick, you just jump on I-25 and you just shoot right on up. So it's actually the same distance. Now, when we are comparing these guys, we are doing it to the heart of Denver and to the heart of Fort Collins if you were to just navigate that, so that you can use a fair judgment on kind of the distance.
And it's kind of crazy thinking that, considering the fact that Longmont, like distance-wise, is actually closer to Fort Collins. And so it just kind of shows how that gap in between Longmont and the highway does take up a lot of your time, as opposed to Frederick. Even though it's a little bit further south than Longmont is, you don't have as much distance to go to I-25 to go straight up north.
Okay, so the second thing that we're going to compare when looking at Longmont and Frederick is going to be cost of living. You guys are asking us all the time which cities are the most affordable. So where did Longmont fall?
So Longmont actually fell at a 120.3, where when we talk about this, national average is 100. Longmont, you're looking at 120.3, which is actually cheaper than Frederick.
Yeah, but not by much, because Frederick comes in at 120.5. So these cost of livings, the overall include utilities. Okay, help me out here.
Transportation, health,
Miscellaneous.
Which is like your shopping and all the good stuff like groceries. Yeah.
Anyway,
I think we got them all.
I think we got them all. Okay, so it does include, it's an overall score, and they're actually very comparable. We do think that this might be changing, so stick around to the end because Peter is going to take us through the real estate facts, and I'm telling you, this is not something you're going to want to miss.
The next thing that we're going to compare is the downtowns in both cities, because we know that it's super popular for people moving to these small cities to have a cool little downtown to hang out in, right? And so one thing to say is Longmont is definitely a more robust, like little small old town than Frederick's is. It's a lot more bougie. They have all those fancy restaurants. They have a theater there. Where Frederick, not so much. This is a little bit more small town, right? Where they really do encompass small business. They have restaurants owners here who are all local. Not saying that Longmont doesn't have that, but you definitely have more of a community vibe, I feel like, here in Frederick.
Yeah, when myself and Elena, our northern partner, we came down here for lunch meeting, and we ran into one of the owners down here, and he said, "Oh, hey, yeah, we, you know, so and so from blah blah blah. We moved over from da da da," and we're like, "Oh, actually, we're just coming here to support Frederick. We love it. It's so cute." And he's like, "Oh, well, come on by sometime." So it definitely has that really sweet small town. They are definitely getting cooler over here. They have a whole little area right by this guy's restaurant that is like kind of getting to be like this little local hangout right in the middle of Frederick, but by no means is it keeping up with Longmont's downtown quite yet. But that does not mean that Frederick isn't trying, because they have so many different things and activities that they do. The tree lighting ceremony, all the different
speaking
carving.
of activities, I don't know if you heard the guys in the background, but they're finishing up the decoration of the tree right now. I'm guessing that it's going to be getting lit here soon. So.
Yes, I wish. Litten. They're enjoying themselves, which is good, because guys, it's 50 something degrees out. I know Peter's not in a jacket.
Feels great.
I am, because I get cold easily, but it's 53 degrees out, so we're able to come outside and record.
Yeah, we've been recording a lot of videos inside, and I gotta get outside. I gotta have the fresh air. I gotta be able to move, right? If you ever seen that Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, I gotta move, right?
I gotta move.
Can I move?
Move? What the hell you mean move?
Okay, so let's go into the next category. The next category we're going to cover is schools. Every single one of you with kiddos typically reach out to me and say, "Hey, Chelsea, I'm looking at the city. What does that mean for schooling?" So where does Frederick fall versus Longmont?
So they actually fall in the same spot.
Yeah, no comparable here.
They're both in the same school district, St. Vrain Valley. There's a tongue twister for you. And that is actually rated A-, so it's a great school district. We could possibly, if you guys have any questions, because obviously there's different high schools, elementary schools, and middle schools over here, as opposed to Longmont. If you want us to get a little bit further into depth, if Frederick or Longmont is something that interests you, let us know. And like I said, we can kind of throw your scores, kind of what we're thinking in regards to both of those cities.
Yeah, but if you are wondering about the district, you don't have to worry too much there, because it is overall an A- and actually one of the highest rated school districts up here in the north. So.
Yep.
All right, if you stuck around this long, it's probably because you want to know what it costs to buy a home between Frederick and Longmont. So Peter, take it away and take us through some of the real estate facts.
All right, so here's a crazy thing right here. We always talk to you guys about this rule of thumb where the east side of I-25, usually you're gonna get cheaper real estate. That's not the case here, guys, where Longmont actually has a lower median sales price of $528. If you go over here on the east side of Frederick, a median sales price of $537. Now, there is one thing that I think could be a factor in that, is that Longmont does have more multifamily over there. You have a little bit more condos and townhouses, so that could be bringing that down a little bit, because these numbers that we're talking about are actually everything incorporated into one. We're talking about your single family along with your multifamily. Now, here's the crazy thing right here. If we compare the two in regards to the appreciation they've gained from 2021 to 2022, and we're talking October this time, Longmont actually rose 2.43%, where Frederick rose 4.18%, so almost double what Longmont did over a 12-month span. Now, let's go back even further, because this is a real telling number right here. Yeah, this is a big one. If we go back and we're comparing 2020 to 2022, Longmont actually increased 9.9%, where Frederick increased over 22%.
Yeah, so we cover all of these numbers for a reason. We really don't think that you can get a clear picture about a trend or how an area is growing unless you see kind of the long scale of it. So typically in Colorado, we are seeing, you know, the increase year over year in almost all of our cities, to be honest. But for Frederick to jump up that much more than Longmont, when Longmont has been kind of a hot city to talk about.
Yeah, it's like one of those places that people don't want to pay the prices in Boulder. A lot of them will go to Denver, or I mean into Longmont or Louisville, or, you know, it's one of those outer cities that people kind of go to. But the fact that Frederick has grown that much, and if you guys haven't, so we just posted a video a couple days ago in regards to why people are moving to Frederick. I highly recommend checking it out. That might give you some insight as to why these numbers in Frederick are going up the way they are.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Well, if you've stuck around this long, thank you so much. If there's any other things that you want to know or be compared when you're looking at Longmont or Frederick, comment down below, reach out, however you need. We do these videos for you.
Also, one more time, we're going to throw that phone number below, right there. So give us a call, give us a text. We will answer those anyway. And until next time, we love you. Bye.
Bye. If there is any videos that I love more than these, wait, hold on. If there are any videos. Welcome back to our channel. We are your Colorado. Two cities for you today here in Colorado, Longmont and Nope.
If this is your first time watching, Pete and Chelsea Sweeney here, and we'd like to be as your boots on the ground experts. That.
What is that?
I don't know. It's a woodpecker or something. If this is your first time watching, Pete and Chelsea Sweeney here, and we'd like to do.
Not necessarily the actual time, you know, depending.
It's called Diagonal Highway. No, it's 30. No, I don't know. I don't remember what it is. If we look year over year and see how much that median sales price has increased, we're comparing.
Oh my gosh.
We got geese running.
So many geese.
Flying over.
They're singing.
Watch out. Get some goosebumps.
So many geese.